Well, Hotep family, Hotep, peace and blessings. I greet you in the name of God and the ancestors in whose footsteps I most humbly walk. This is Brother Ed Omoja for the Pretoria International Film Festival 2020. And tonight we have a very special guest. We were just talking. And, one thing, when you know someone for a while, you're just like, okay, cool. You know this, you know that. This brother, I actually met him through his father. I said this story several times, but if you're listening for the first time, I actually met this brother back in 1998. I was working on a project, and someone told me about his dad, gave me information to contact his father, and then I contacted his dad, and then from there, his dad would agree to do the project with us. But then his dad couldn't make it, so his dad said, "I'm gonna send." His dad calls me and said, "I'm gonna send my son to be in my place." I said, "Okay." And here comes Brother Khalil walks into the shrine of Kepra. Heal thyself. The Queen of Fool's place in Brooklyn. And since then, we've been keeping in touch with each other ever since. And Brother Khalil, as you know, people who don't know, he's an actor, he's a producer, he's a director. He does a lot in the film industry and outside the film industry. So we're going to talk to him today a little bit about the film industry and what's going on. COVID-19 has brought some things to a stop, but yet there are other things going on. So Brother Khalil, man, Hotep, peace and blessings. Welcome to Piff. We're gonna have a conversation, Piff 2020. We're gonna have a conversation with you about what's going on, man.
Wow. Peace and blessings, Hotep. I'm finally in Pitt. It's been a few years, and I have not been able to make it to the festival because just around the same time we created North IFF, and it was always a conflict in time and getting over to Pitt. But now that we're all live, guess what?
Hey, there you go. Yeah,
When this is over, I promise I will set foot in St. Lucia or
oh,
wherever Pitt will be.
wherever Piff will be. We'll see what that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but we have a few things to talk about tonight, and I wanted to speak to you about those three things, but some other things also. But let's talk about you and the film industry. What brought you into the film industry? Because I know you as a dancer, as a martial artist. What brought you into the film industry?
So, I mean, I've always been an artist, and I don't define myself as this type of artist or that type of artist, a dancer or actor or this or that. I'm an artist in whatever medium of art at the moment is available for me that I feel that I can be creative in. I go in that direction. Like I said, I've been a dancer, been a graphic artist, a martial artist, whatever it takes. I when I was very young, I used to sing. I gave that up. You can't hear my voice. I didn't give it up. I just stopped doing it. Because I got into other things and stuff. But I sang in the church choir when my mother, had us at Sunday school. Wherever the art takes, I go the direction. So acting just came about. When I was younger, I did do a little bit of theater in school and stuff. And
Hmm.
as I got older, I wanted to pursue an acting career, so I jumped in the game. I went to Harlem Theater Company was the first place I studied at. From there, I studied British acting technique. And then I studied Meisner method acting as well as, here and there with other private coaches. But, I got my feet wet and then I went, film and, the rest is a continuing story.
Yeah, I think the first film I remember I know you for, I should say, was Bullets Over Brownsville. I think it was. Was it Bullets Over Brownsville? Am I saying that correctly?
Well, yeah, but yeah, definitely. And that was as a producer. I did act in that. I had a small cameo. If you ever saw the movie, I'm the Grim Reaper character that shows up. I don't know if you knew that was me. I was heavy
No,
in costume.
no. The thing is, I didn't know what character you played. I just know you were involved with the movie because someone told me about the movie and said, "Yeah, Khalil Maasi is involved in this movie." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I was, Natural Langdon, who I believe was here the other day.
Yeah.
And Damon did it. The two executive producers of Bullets Over Brownsville pulled me into that project as a producer. I knew them from the previous project before that, POE, Process of Elimination, which was their first feature film, and I was the lead actor in that film.
Okay.
And I created a relationship with them. I had already started producing actually prior to that small project, and then they saw my interest, went on the set. I kicked up a brotherly relationship with them. I spent a lot of time with them, indie film, sleeping in wherever, shooting, running, going, da 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 da. That's so we developed a kinship. And they said, "Hey man, we see you're interested in the producing thing. Come on board with us." So I came on board with them, and I was a producer on Bullets Over Brownsville, and play a little cameo role in that. And I've done several projects with them after that as well too. And
Okay.
Nikita and Open Minds on the Grind and a bunch of small things.
Yeah, I saw your name in the credits for Nikita.
Yeah, I was a associate producer on Nikita. I basically helped put that thing together for as the connection to Brazil and Cobra Mansa, and helped through the process of getting that project. That was Natural's master thesis for
Yeah.
for uh, uh, for his master's degree in film. So
Great,
yeah,
great. Yeah,
wherever
that's
I can
that.
fit in, like I say.
Yeah, that was a great little short film. I like that film. I like the little short film. So let's talk about we had a few things on the slate to talk about tonight. So for those who are listening, I know let's talk about Newark International Festival, NIFF, which you had so nicely pulled me into a few years ago.
Well, well, Newark IFF is the brainchild of Ken Gifford, who is the founder of Newark IFF. I was there in its founding year, and it's going in fifth year. Just like Piff, Newark IFF is still going on, but it's going to be virtual, like we see all these other festivals because of
Yeah.
COVID-19. So we're being creative and we're flipping things around. Unfortunately, because of Piff, I mean, I said Piff, because of COVID-19. It's not because of Piff. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, there are a lot of things I still can't announce yet because there's a lot of
Yeah.
scrambles. We just decided at the last minute to do fully online. We were trying to do some live event, but it didn't work out. So, but what I can say that we're in our fifth year. This fifth year is also our Oscar Academy Award qualifying year, where films that come to our festival also become Academy Award qualifying films as well. So we get that recognition. We get that Academy Award qualifying recognition this year. So that takes us up to another level.
Okay, hey, congratulations on that. We got to talk about that. How does continue, but we're gonna come back to that or talk about how you get to be qualified, how you qualify for that status. But yeah, so
it's very simple. You submit yourself in terms of your festival, and they look at yourself, how you structure what you're doing, and in your fifth year, basically, that's the rules. That festival has to be functional for 5 years to receive Oscar qualifying status. So I guess they look at the quality of your films, the reach of it, such forth like that,
yeah,
the content, things of that nature, to
yeah.
decide whether or not they want to associate themselves with.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you and I spoke about that a couple years ago, and I think you had sent me a link or something to read up about that. And it was very interesting when I read about, how do you become a qualifying film festival for the Oscars and stuff like that. Very interesting information to have out on that. Yeah. So you're saying NIFF is going to be fully online this year now. They're committed to
Totally
doing it.
online this year. It's going to be totally online. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead. No.
It's going to be totally online this year. We're going to have, a bunch of panels dealing with, directing, acting classes. My panel, which is the stunt panel, there's going to be a bunch of films, short films, films from around the world. There's the youth part of the festival as well. All of this can be seen on northiff.com, But like I said, everything is going to be virtual. There will be some. There's going to be an opening night still, but it's going to be online. It'll be a few key people, the Newark IFF founding members and personnel, as well as some special guests, will be inside of the venue where we'll be having an open night, and then everyone else can stream in and watch what's going on. We're going to have some fun and some surprises. You know, you can do your BYOB at home and your little snack and tune in, you know, and join in the fun and hijinks with us because we're a bunch of crazy people. You know, we try to keep it fun. We're not just, and this film is so and so and so. We try to have fun with family.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we crack jokes on each other and play pranks on each other.
I mean, I guess, you know, having the studio down in Ironbound, you have the flexibility to shoot to do everything right from there.
Exactly. You know, we have Ironbound Studio in North New Jersey. Again, also owned and operated by Mr. King Gifford. The guy got the keys to everything. He's runs Ironbound Studios. He's the director of the Mayor's Office of Film and Television,
Yeah.
Newark IFF. Vault's coming up. We're going to talk about that too. So
Yep.
this guy has found a way to maneuver and manage. And Ken, I give you that though. You're the man.
Yeah, man. You know, the thing about him, the few times I have met him, he's a very down to earth brother. I mean, he'll talk to you and he'll share information with you. And I really appreciate that about him. The few times I met him when I was over in Newark, stuff
Yeah,
like
he's a cool dude. You know, I was gonna crack a joke on
that.
he has a big presence for just a little guy, but
Uh-oh.
But overall, that's the dude, man, and he's holding it down. He's he may not have the money yet, but in terms of what he's putting together, he's the Tyler Perry of North New Jersey.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great. I mean, he's doing a great job there, and you know, like I said, the last time I think I saw him was when we did the interview with the sister from Black Panther.
Yeah, well, that was the year 3, I believe.
Was that year 3? Yeah, but we did it because he asked me to do the drop film, and we did a drop film on that. Was that year 3 or year 4? I don't remember.
No, it was in 4. It was in 4.
I think that was in 4. That was in 4. Yeah.
4 was last year when we had Made in Chinatown.
Made in Chinatown, so it was year 3. Okay.
We had the Dora Milaje of Black Panther, 3 of the Dora Milaje, Maya Abney, Niala Hope, and Janelle Smith. We had them as our guests at Newark IFF. Not Niala. Niala wasn't able to make the Newark IFF, but she made the prior interview we did.
When she was there for the interview, yeah.
So she was there with Alexander Williams.
Yeah, Sister Abney and I, we keep in touch. I do on Instagram where she does an exercise class.
Well, I got a role for her. I'm just announcing it now in this video here too.
Exclusive.
I have a role for her that I haven't contacted her about yet. It's actually for a reading for a new script, you know, for Lawyer Karaday's book, which was turned into a script, War and Resurrection. And it's like a Game of Thrones set in Africa, and I have a role for you, Maya. If you're out there, I'll be contacting you soon. I didn't do so yet. I'm sorry to announce it to the world, but I'm gonna hit you up, sister, because I need you for the week.
Yeah, but Khalil, let's the family know we're talking about a sister who was in Black Panther. She's not a martial artist, but she's an excellent. She's a professional dancer, and she's been on Broadway on the Lion King. What's it, the Lion King?
Lion King.
Cher.
You know, Black Panther. I mean, if you name it, that was big. Past few years, she was in it. Avengers, you know.
And the reason I bring that up,
Black Panther.
Khalil, the reason I bring that up is because we have a lot of young people and parents who are listening. Here's a sister who is not a martial artist, but she has taken her skill set. And if you watch the interview we did with her, she has taken her skill set as a professional dancer and taken it into the film to where she could portray one of Black Panther's bodyguards, pretty much.
Well, the thing is this: she studies movement.
Yeah.
And because of that, she can go into any form of movement, whether it be martial arts or riding a motorcycle. But she's not a stunt woman. She'll tell you that right away.
She did. Yeah, she said that she's not a stunt person.
And she'll tell you that. She took that opportunity because it was a tremendous opportunity. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But she's not a stunt person.
Yeah, she's a down-to-earth, really nice sister. I really enjoyed the interview we did with her. And like I said, we keep in touch all the time on Instagram. So yeah, definitely. So now we know that Newark International Film Festival is going to be all online. Do you have a date when that's going to start, or just have to go to the website and check it out?
September 9th to the 13th. But go to northiff.com. September 9th to the 13th. And everything will be laid out there soon. Some information should be up now. More will be coming soon. We have about 3 more weeks, so there's time. Even though it's short time, but again, because of the time we're in festivals, a lot of times, usually anyway, you know, they're changing at the last minute.
Yeah.
But with COVID and the recent decisions we had to make, because we were pushing to the last minute to decide to see if we could have people together, we finally realized we couldn't, and so therefore now we're putting the finalization together. That stuff should be up soon.
Yeah, and you know, and as you said that, you know, Ironbound Studios, we definitely gotta thank them for help giving us the opportunity to shoot our talk show there inside the Action Studio. We shot I think two of them inside there. You know,
We shot 2 in there. We shot a couple
one.
on the road, and that'll be coming back again eventually. Just had to take a break. A lot of other stuff is going on, COVID. But you know, there's a lot of stuff I had to put down that when the time is right.
Hey, give the information on that. Give the information. How do people see the old shows that we did? Because it's still up, right?
Well, they should still be up. Well, you the man. You the man on that.
Oh man, they're gonna throw it back at me. Okay.
So, I mean, you can go online. You can go on Facebook, put in Inside the Action Studio. There's a Facebook page. You can go on there and scroll down, and you'll see the old videos, as well as other content I put up about action films, such as it is. YouTube as well, Inside the Action Studio, and old episodes will come up as well. So you should be able to find the content. And it's just basically a talk show that sits down and talks to people in the action film industry about their career, their training, their life, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I bring that up, Khalil, is because, you know, as we have people who are listening to us, some of them are we just connecting the dots. How do we go from A to C? That we got to do B, you know, and stuff like that. And inside the Action Studio, you know, I worked with you on that as a producer and stuff like that. And we came in and we did that, and then it actually took us to where we did an interview with Seafood Robert Samuels in Chinatown in Philadelphia, doing Made in Chinatown, and we met some really nice people doing that. So that so-called action talk show opened several doors and opportunities for us. So telling people, like the young people, you know, don't think it's only one thing. There's many ways to many angles to get to where you want to get to. And inside the Action Studio opened up several opportunities for me, for you, and, you know, give us an opportunity. I'm still working with Robert Samuels now. He's based here in Philadelphia, so it gave us a lot of opportunities. And so, and then Ken Gifford gave us the opportunity to use the studio in Ironbound to shoot a couple of shows and stuff like that. So definitely.
Well, it's about networking, and bottom line is how do you become? You know, you have an idea, you have things that you want to do. How do you get it done if you don't have everything that you need and all the personnel that you need? You network. You do things for people. You know, you do things. And sometimes you do it without even asking for anything back. Yeah. And the right person, if they are a good person and have good character, they'll notice that. Yeah. And I say, hey, what can I do for you? You know, I do stuff with some people that never get anything back, and I just write it off and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Newark International Film Festival, that helped me a lot, because I was there the first year. You pulled me into that the first year. So I saw how, you know, with the support that they got from the city, the mayor and stuff, like how it went from a first year and where it is right now going into because of COVID, but the fourth year, it was phenomenal. You guys took over the city of Newark. I mean, here's one film festival that literally took over the city. I mean, all these different locations you had Prudential was involved. I mean, just to see in 4 years what you could do when you have support and a good networking staff around you. Yeah, definitely.
Well, the idea was basically we wanted to have that same vibe as Sundance and the other bigger festivals, and we wanted the city to be involved in the major venues. And so we created a festival that was, you know, if you want to do an international festival, you have to have space, because you have people coming from all over the country and the world. Yeah. And we wanted to utilize the infrastructure of Newark, New Jersey. So we got the Prudentials and the NJ Packs and the Symphony Halls and the Newark Museums and NJITs and the Rutgers involved. And each of these places were venues where we showed films and held various events that were connected to the festival.
Yeah, for those who are listening, NJIT is one of the colleges if you're not familiar with New Jersey, it's one of the colleges in New Jersey that and Rutgers University were used during the film festival. And we have to be very real about it, Brother Khalil, as we're talking about it before we move on. The film festivals bring a lot of revenue into the city or the state they're in, because if it's international, like you're saying, Newark, the hotels make out. I mean, even I remember last year when we were there, they had a red carpet at Whole Foods, by the Whole Foods in that complex there. So Whole Foods made money because people went in there and buy stuff. I know I did. So what a film festival does, all the things it does, some people don't look at it from that perspective, but it brings a lot of money, a lot of revenue to a lot of businesses in the city, and I think that's a very powerful statement. And Newark International NIFF shows that by what it does in Newark, and Prudential is a big supporter.
And just to clarify, definitely Prudential is really the main supporter, other than the city of Newark and Mayor Raz Baraka, and his administration. But just to clarify some things, definitely, yeah, we did the festival. The place we did the festival in for the past few years is Express Newark, that building, and Whole Foods is housed in there,
right?
As well as other venues. And it's Express Newark is basically a venture in between city of Newark and Rutgers University and various artist collaboratives and such forth. And there's a space in there where we can come in there and do events and things like that. Whole Foods is there, so like you said, you can go dip off and get some food. We served food too, but it was so many people that sometimes.
Yeah, I remember that.
You're like, wait a minute, I don't want to wait in this line. Whole Foods is right here. They got fresh food.
But Khalil, if we look at the business aspect of film festivals, to say you have that kind of network that in 4 years, it wasn't 10, 15, or 20 years. In 4 years, you have this network because you have the mayor's office, you have major like Prudential, you have the colleges, everyone came together because everyone's an opportunity to take it to another level. And everyone there was a harmony and a unison there, a networking. Like, let's take this to the next level. In 4 years, this was done, family. 4 years, they took over the city of Newark.
The reason why is because it's Newark, New Jersey, and everybody knows everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Everyone knows everybody who's doing something, and so it's hard to make those connect. And it's close. It's not like a lot of areas that are spread out. You got to go this far and that far, and everything is close, and everyone knows one another, and we're all fighting and struggling for the same thing. We got a history that goes back decades of struggle and rebellion and survival. And we all just trying to lift each other up,
And I think the respect.
Our mayor is a descendant of one of our original freedom fighters in Newark, Amiri Baraka. My father worked with Amiri Baraka. So, there's a thing. Newark is an artist community. The Black Arts Movement started in Newark. I'm a child of the Black Arts Movement. So all of these things are, not coincidence.
So now that we said that, just segue, you take all the Black arts and all the arts you guys are doing in Newark, and now you guys are doing the streaming, the Volt, right? Let's talk about that, because I know they have some filmmakers that might be interested in getting this stuff streaming on the. So let's talk a little bit about that.
All right, so and you know what? I got my Volt stuff laid out in front of me because I'll be dead honest, I can't remember it all off the top. So I just hit some bullets. I keep it real, bro. I got too much happening. But yeah, look, hey, we're jumping into the streaming space. Vault TV, bought to you by the makers of, by the founders of Newark IFF. We're jumping into the game, streaming service. Let me knock off some of these bullet points right here. So Vault will stream on Vault's own mobile app.
Oh, cool.
Okay, it also will stream on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, and Vault's own website. So you have these different ways to access it. So this is not like just some little website that people are throwing up right now. We're jumping deep into the game, again, by the leadership of Ken Gifford. We also, Vault will be available in 26 million homes and devices. Again, so your stuff, if you're a content creator, your stuff will have access to 26 million homes. That doesn't mean you're automatically going to get in those 26 million. You got to do the work and create your content and such forth. But you have access to 26 million homes. Now, I'm not going to talk to money and all of that, okay? I'm not going to talk to money. If you want to know about, how to monetize it, you can contact me, Instagram, Khalil Maasi, KHALIL MAASI. Hit me in the DM. Facebook, same way. My name, I don't have a bat name, a superhero name. Like that's one of my friends called it. I don't have one of these bat names. You're branding yourself. I understand why people do that. But if you're in this business and you're branding yourself, you're calling yourself anything other than what you call yourself in the industry, you're making a mistake. So My name is on all my social media. I'm not hiding from anybody. Khalil Maasi, KhalilMaasi. Facebook, Instagram, you'll find me, you know. And I'm not going to give out my email. I'll give you the email once we make contact on social media and I see that you're serious, you know.
Yeah.
Or if you're coming through Piff or connected to Ed, contact Ed. He'll put you in touch with me. We'll make a deal. Ed will get paid as well. Hey, man.
Hey, I'm good with that, brother. You know, I got bills to pay too, man.
So those are the, like I said, I'm gonna run it again real quick. Vault will stream on mobile app, Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Vault's website, and 26 million homes and devices.
So
That's a
when is Vault gonna, when is it active? When it goes active? Is it live? Is it out live already?
Not yet. Vault is going to launch on September 9th.
Okay.
Beginning of North IFF.
IFF. So okay, cool.
You know, we've already have a ton of content because we're a festival.
Right.
Over the past 5 years, have collected content. So we've already struck deals with, you know,
The filmmakers.
filmmakers, and we have new content coming in for this festival. You know, that, you know, as well as we're talking to other, you know, we're doing, and like I said, we're also doing. What are some of the other services here? Just so you know, so more services on the plan 4 will be filmmaker development. So you'll be able to develop your content. You know what I'm saying? With us, we just won't say here, make a film and give it to us. If you need to develop it, you can develop it with Vault. Vault will help filmmakers brand and manage their content through social media. All right, data analysis, cloud services will be available. We'll have in-house film and video production if you need that service, you know, and content management. So again, this is a full-scale streaming platform and network. This isn't going to be just something we're going to throw up, say, send us your, you know, our content, and then just slap it up there, and then you'll be able to monetize it. Again, the money, I'm not going to talk, you know, right now. That's not my area. I'll connect you, and then we'll make all of that happen.
Okay, cool. No, that's great, man. Congratulations, and it's nice to see it's launching with Newark IFF this year. That shows that synergy between the two platforms.
Exactly, it's necessary, particularly this age we live in, COVID, and when we see what's going on politically, which I don't want to get into much. Hey, you better be creating revenue streams, you know, and more than one, because if one gets cut off, where's the next dollar coming from? I've lived that way for over the past 20 years, multiple income streams. I believe in it highly. I read that in Robert Kiyosaki's book, you know, years ago, and it said, okay, that's the move.
Yeah. So, you know, so now we talk about Vault. Now we talk about multiple streams of income. Let's talk about the group.
Group 2 Entertainment.
Yeah, Group 2 Entertainment. Now you said you the one who again pulled me in, hugged me into into that too, and I thank you for that. Let's talk about what is it, because you know I got the email from you, and you and I spoke about it a few times and stuff like that. But exactly what is it? And what do they do?
Well, so Group 2 Entertainment is primarily it's film financing company. But also we do development and producing as well of projects. You know, we produce and develop projects as well. Most of our projects that we produce and develop, though, we in-house. So there's a difference when I say that we, you know, we have projects in-house that we do that we're interested in, and we will work with other artists who or content creators who want us to help them develop and produce their project. But primarily it's film financing. So, you know, what do I mean by that? You have a project, you want to get it made, you don't have money. We help you get to it. I'm keeping it as simple as possible. We help you get the money that you need to make your film. You know, our projects, Group 2 deals with projects from in between $6.5 to $50 million, which seems like a wide range. You know, it was low from 6.5 to 50. That's still considered low to mid-range budget. You know, people, you know, people don't realize a $20 million film is considered low budget.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah, because it's so much if you go into marketing, you got the marketing. You know, Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me ask you a question. You just said something. Let me ask you. You said 6.5. So you guys don't touch anything under 6.5, or oh, you
We
guys?
don't. We primarily don't. We have to look at it and see. And the reason why is this, because there's a certain point where you want films that are going to be lucrative in the market. You know, if our films under 6.5 lucrative, yes, but it depends on the model that you have, and so if you're creating a film that is under 6.5, and you're probably not going to have a certain caliber, and I shouldn't say caliber. Our films, we look for A-list or recognizable talent. All right. So our business model, our numbers say 6.5 is the lowest that we'll go to do so. So under that, you're looking, is your project, we look at if the project is viable for us in terms of what we're looking to do in making a profit. Smaller projects have done well in the market, depending on where you place them at. Streaming and home devices, and any money is good money. So if you make a small film and it makes its money back, plus you've done well. Our model, we're looking at projects that are cost a little bit more to make, that have A-list or recognizable talent attached, and or producer, director, and all of those other things like that.
So you're looking. So basically, you're like you said, a recognizable face or a name that could help push the project forward, so you could sell it.
Yeah, exactly. When you're putting money into a film, when people are making an investment or producing a film, it's a gamble. There's nothing that says your film is going to make it. But if you have a face in it that's recognizable, or a name that's attached with a talent as a producer, director, or a writer, other than an actor, that gives you more leverage dealing with investors that say, okay, we could make our money back on this project. And that's what no matter how much artistic you are, how much you love your script and your project and all that, nobody cares. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful or to
it comes down to the numbers at the end. Can they make their money back?
I'm gonna tell you one of the most realest things I was taught in dealing with some of the people I'm dealing with right now. I was told scripts don't get you budgets.
Scripts
don't get you funding. Scripts don't get you funding.
Okay.
A good budget gets you funding. They don't. There are a lot of people who won't even look at your script, who are in the executive position. They ask guys like me to read the script and evaluate. They won't even look at the script. You give them a report on it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They want you to get them a report on it, get them feedback, log line, synopsis, talk to them about the pitch deck, the casting, and all of that. They want to see the budget. Do you have your numbers correct? Because you're asking somebody to give you millions of dollars. If your numbers are correct, that's what they want. They rely on guys like me, the creative people, to tell them, is it a viable project? They want to see the budget above and below the line, and they want to go through that thing with a fine-tooth comb to see if you know what you're talking, or if you're going to waste their money. And that's a hard reality that a lot of people out there who want to make films don't know or don't understand. We're caught up in the creative part, but when it comes to the business, we're lost. And that's why we never get the funding and never get to where we want to get as business people.
Yeah, I remember you and I were talking about that. I think last year, the year before, we were talking about how the budget, having the line item budget, making sure your lines are on and everything like that. Yes, because that's what's going to get you the yes. You might have, and we see that. I think we see that in a lot of some films that's made. And you say, how did they get the money for this budget? I mean, how did they get this money for this film? And it's because they had everything. They had the budget. They gave a good presentation. Even though the script was silly or whatever, but they got because they
and we can all the time. And I just told a big secret. There's a lot of people who you think your script the greatest thing in the world. You spent months writing it. You went to school. You love this script. You want to talk about it. First of all, they don't want to listen to you. You got maybe 5 minutes to explain what your project is about. And if you long-winded and you going on, it ain't gonna last long for you.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm just keeping it real with you so you know what you're facing when you get out there. All right. So you got maybe 5 minutes, you know, to impress someone to even look further at your project. And then again, reading scripts, the average executive or person who's investing in such forth does not have the time to sit down and read your script because they're doing a whole bunch of other things that are connected to the project to get you the money, you know, and to deal with the licensing and insurance and all the other factors.
Things. Yeah.
So they're not reading your script. You know, they want to see your pitch deck, maybe run through that, see who you have casted or who you're desiring cast. You know, it's better to have someone cast if you can, you know, that helps you, you know,
Yeah.
and all those other factors I just talked about. So people need to start focusing on if you want to get a budget for a film that is above a certain level where it could become lucrative and you can make some impact in the industry and maybe make some money, you know, and maybe even make generational money. You got to have your paperwork together. You got to have your pitch deck, your business plan, all of that together.
Hey, Khalil, hold on one second. Hold on one second. This is like the fifth. I know what it is. This is about the fifth or sixth time you said it. What is the pitch deck? Because I mean, there's people who are listening, and I'm always conscious about. There's people who are just coming into the industry. There's people who are enjoying the industry, and there's people who are just like, oh, what is that? So, what is the pitch deck?
So basically, I'm going to break it down so it's easier to understand. A pitch deck is basically like a PowerPoint project, PowerPoint presentation. And it basically lays out everything about your film project, starting with, you know, the log line, which is just basically a sentence or two of what your project is about. Like, for instance, one project I'm working on with my brother, Chris Carden. It's a film about Quilombo, Palmares, Brazil. And our line is basically, it's a black Braveheart, a Braveheart set in Brazil. That's your log line. You want to be able to capture the imagination quickly of anyone, because again, you only get a few minutes when you first meeting these people. They may give you more time afterwards. You're only going to get a few minutes as that. So you give them your log line. You want to snatch their attention with your log line, black Braveheart. Then after that, if you might get a chance to break down your synopsis, which should be a paragraph about basically what your project is about. That should be in the pitch deck. All right. Maybe sheets from your script to give an example of the writing. Maybe some type of visual to give an idea what the film is looking like. Not maybe, yes, visual to give an idea. Even if you don't have original visuals, if you can snatch visuals from somewhere and put them in there to give an idea what your project is about. Character breakdown. Actors who are attached, if not attached meaning they signed on to your project, agreed to be in it. If not attached, desired talent, like examples, several examples for each role of like say maybe you want a Wesley Snipes or Chiwetel Ejiofor or Idris Elba, and you put them beside that character that you want. You go, you know, down and down, on and on, which characters you want. You know, who's directing, who's doing the choreography, if you got a lot of choreography like in the action film. Who's attached as producers, anybody or anything that makes that film, you know, seem like that's something that has to be made by the investor that you're taking to. This is what I'm doing. You want it to almost be as exciting as the actual film that you're planning on making when they're looking at that pitch deck.
Correct, yeah.
I want to see this. Let me put some money into this. That's basically what your pitch deck is. It's a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, where you're laying out all, you know, you're laying it out, full out, you know, to whoever it is that you want to put that money in or get on board your project.
Yeah, you know, and you know, I ask you that because, and the reason I asked you to explain that, the pitch deck, is because tomorrow night we have Seafood Robert Samuels on. I'm going to talk to him about his pitch deck for Made in Chinatown, because when you see what they did with Made in Chinatown, shooting it in Philly to make it look like New York, and then so when I'll be very interested to see for him to talk about his pitch deck for that film, because they did a really good interesting job with that. Because and the reason I'm doing that, Khalil, because in Piff we like to teach. Piff is an educational film festival. We like to teach people. So for those young filmmakers who are listening, or those novice filmmakers who are interested, at least they get an idea of what you're talking about. Because you're talking about like the budget for which is 6.5 and up, right? But even though the budget is not it's less than 6.5, it's still good to have this information because it helps you build up to
Yeah,
6.5.
yeah,
So you start doing that. Because when I was around with you and some other people, and listening to them talking all this lingo and stuff, and I'm listening to them like, okay, and seeing this, it's a different world when you're behind the camera, when you're
yeah.
on set. And
Mhm.
then you start seeing what you're talking about. You start seeing all these pieces coming into play to make a
Mhm.
good film, a good project. And then you see the chaos, and when it's not there, and you see what things get messed up. So that's why I ask you that, because I'm going to talk to Robert Samuels, the
Well,
seafood Robert Samuels, tomorrow about his pitch deck and getting that project done.
I don't want to take liberties of speaking for him or talk about things I don't know. I'll say this, that sometimes some projects, and particularly because pitch decks are like kind of new in the past few years. Before that, you had an executive summary,
Right.
but so he may not have had a pitch deck for that project because some projects just come together spontaneously. You may have all the connections that you need already, where you don't got to go out and shop. You know, Mark Wiley, who's the executive producer of that
Yeah.
film, wrote that script. So, he may have. I don't know if I ever saw a pitch. I don't think I ever saw a pitch deck.
Yeah.
And I just know Robert Samuels have a ton of relationships in the
Right.
industry, and he
That's
can make
why.
a phone call when people show up. Yeah,
That's why I said. That's why I said that. What you just said. That's the way I said that, because I had the honor and the privilege of speaking to him several times. And when you're talking about pitch deck, I don't know if he had one, but because of his relationship in the industry, and he knew who to call and what to say
exactly.
and how to pull it together.
Yeah,
He might not have had one, but he had the spirit of a pitch deck, because he had it. Because he had the black book of the numbers in it, the people in it, and the people around him to get it done.
most low budget, and again, low budget can be a few $1,000,000.
Yeah.
Most low budget films, or guerrilla films, whether they're low budget or they're no budget, they usually don't, in my uh, 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 history of filmmaking, they usually don't have a pitch deck. It's usually, I've been on projects where they didn't even have a script, and they just started calling people to pulling something together, started creating script as they went along. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it came out good, sometimes it didn't. But you have that in this industry sometimes, where people have to work with what they have, and it's spontaneous, and people start coming together. And so that's a good thing too. It works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm bringing. Like I said, Piff is an educational film festival. I like to educate as much as I can with Piff, and I think something my wife and I we're very proud about what we do in Piff with that, because there are a lot of young filmmakers, and not only here in the U.S., outside of the U.S., who might never have heard of a pitch deck, but they have an executive summary, they have this, they have that, and for as you go up and you want to get better films done, you want to get better scripts, you know what is the industry looking for, so you could get that budget, because you don't want to walk into a room and people's asking you for this and that, and you don't know what they're talking about, but you do have pieces of it in your binder, right?
What are they looking for? I mean, but the first thing that they're looking for in this industry is who do you have? It depends on who you're talking to,
Yeah.
but some of the things that they're looking for is, one, who do you have attached?
Right.
Because again, names mean seats, mean butts in the seats in the theater. Now, we're not talking theaters at this time. We're talking about revenue streaming. I mean, we're talking about streaming and such forth. Same thing though. Who's attached? What name actor who people want to see these days
Hmm.
is attached
Right.
that people will pay their money to see. So there's an old saying that says you have to have one of three things, or all, you have to have two of these three things or all to be able to try to get some type of financing. And they say either name actor, name producer, or name director attached. They
Right.
say, I heard that you should have two of them at least.
Right.
Three, that's all great, if you have all three. But I also throw into that mix a name editor these days, because editors are starting to become personalities,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're doing an action film, who's your choreographer? Who's
Who's your
choreographing your?
choreographer? Who's
Yeah.
your choreographer?
Yeah.
Or a name writer,
Right.
So you have to have somebody with some credits, big credit, that have pulled in some money on that. If you want to get your project to move quicker, to get some traction, if you come to because the name is money, if you have some form of money attached to your film already, that also helps. If you have some form of pre-sale distribution attached, some sport. So there's the thing about filmmaking. There's no one rule. There are rules and there are principles that you have to observe, but there's no one rule in order to actually get your film, get interest in your film. It could be that you have the name actor or the name director or the name this or the name that, or you may have a connection to the service. You may have a connection to Netflix. It may have somebody ready to give you, distribution. Off the bat, just because you're cool with them. You got to have something that says to people, that we can make some money.
Yeah, I mean, and that one thing I'm gonna go back to Sifu Samuels with Made in Chinatown. You see, like you talk about the names. He had, for those in the martial arts circle, he had Lo Mein. Lo Mein, people know who he is from the Five Deadly Venoms, right? You have him, and then he came back, and then in the U.S. he had the guy, those gentlemen from the HBO movie. I forgot the movie, the name just jumped out my head. So he had a nice balance of international actors from one level and international actors from another level, because Lo Mein might not be known in the U.S. for those who are not into action films and who are not into martial arts, right? But then the five gentlemen, oh man, what's the name of the movie on HBO? That's the guys from
the one that Bruce Lee wrote.
No, I'm talking about the five Italian gentlemen he had in the film.
Oh, you're talking about the just on tip my tongue. You're talking about Sopranos?
Yeah, the Sopranos. Thank you.
But he had, what's the name from the Sopranos?
Yeah, he had several. He had like 3 or 4 of them from the Sopranos. So those who know the Sopranos from HBO and the history the Sopranos had, that was a good look to have those gentlemen in it. And like I said, and then on the action side, to have Lo Mein from the martial arts circle, the guy is a living icon because all the movies he does he has done in the martial arts. So Made in Chinatown had a nice balance to where a lot of names on both sides of the ocean. So I think that was. So when I talk to him tomorrow, we're going to talk more about that. So like you said, there's not only one way. There's several different angles to come at it to get your budget and get stuff done. And I think he did a great job with that. The team did a good job with
that. Definitely. Yeah. Again, Robert Samuels is a veteran in the action film industry. The first people
person
say
of color.
African American.
First man of color.
First man of color. Whatever you want to call him, in the Hong Kong, inducted into the Hong Kong Stuntman Association. Sammo Hung's protege, one of his Sammo Hung's protege. He's friends with Jackie Chan and all of the,
hey, Khalil, for those who are listening, tell them who Sammo Hung is, because they've seen him in a lot of movies, but a lot of people don't know his name because
Well, Sammo Hung is just a legendary, martial artist, stuntman, director, choreographer.
Wasn't he the gentleman that Bruce Lee fought in the first part of Enter the Dragon?
I was ready to say he was the guy in the beginning of Enter the Dragon that Bruce Lee was sparring.
Yeah.
In the
from the temple. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
he had a TV.
He was also in some of those scenes. Old people don't realize.
Yeah.
So the who's who in the martial art world, who became later who's who, were in that movie understudying. Understudying, but learning from Bruce Lee at that.
Yeah. So, and Sam Hung, wasn't he also in a TV show with Arsenio Hall, that series for one, I think it was like for 2 seasons or something? He was his partner.
I'm forgetting the name of it, but
yeah, but I mean, he was in there. So people who might not know his name, but they've seen his face in several different things.
Yeah. Just Google him, Sammo Hung, SAMMOHUNG, Sammo Hung. He's a legendary figure in the action martial arts world.
Well, brother Khalil, I know I had you on for a minute.
Very, very. In several of the Yip Man films.
Yep, he's in the Yip Man film. He plays he plays the funny guy, blinking eyes. No, not blinking. That's that's Lo Mein. But I wanted to bring you on tonight because I wanted you to share your knowledge with the people who are listening. Because as we talk about making films, the film industry is an industry. There's certain criterias and certain steps, certain process you go through. And you've been in there for a while, and I wanted you to share your knowledge because there's a lot of people who want to get in either in front of the camera or behind. Like I always tell you, I like being behind the camera. So a lot of people want to be in front of the camera, some people want to be behind the camera, some want to do both. So, but there's whichever way you are, there's a process that we have to go through, and I wanted you to lay some of that out for the family, and then tomorrow we're going to talk to Stephen Robert Samuels about stuff he's been through because he worked on both sides of the ocean in Hong Kong and over here too. So I do thank you for your time. Is there anything you want to say in closing? I don't want to hold you too much. I know you're a busy man.
No, I'm about to go get some dinner, but all I would say, man, is you have to love this if you're going to do this. If you're coming in looking for a quick check to become a millionaire overnight,
no,
you get ready to set yourself up for some heartaches and some disappointment. That don't mean you can make some money, quickly. But it's about. If it was about money to me, I would have left this industry a long, long time ago. I've had some successes and I had some periods. What they say, valleys and mountains.
Yeah.
I've been up on the mountaintop. I worked with Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? I've been on Blacklist. I've been on Luke Cage. I've been on this new thing, Prodigal Son. I've been in a lot of indie films.
Oh, I know you were on Prodigal Son.
Yeah, I did the season finale.
Okay.
So small role, but hey, nice check and featured spot. So just love this game because if you're not, don't be in it.
Yeah, I think that one thing is I think from listening to you talking this, you must really love this and have a reason other than to make money to be in it. For me, it's about us telling our story from our perspective. I mean, we complain about people coming in and doing our story and we don't like the way they do it. So if you're going to complain about it, find a way to do it yourself. Because,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Khalil.
The person who says it should be done is the person who should be doing
it. And that's
people saying, whenever I'm online, I see people saying, "Oh, they should have made it this way. They should have made it that way. Oh, they should have done this." Da da da. What you mean they? They're spending their money doing it, whether we like it or not. Even if they're telling our story, if you don't like the way it's being done, you should be doing it or putting some money into the people who are doing it. When I put up a fundraiser on GoFundMe or whatever, if I'm doing a small indie film or whatever, I'm raising money, or any artist out there, they're asking, you should be supporting it. But if you're complaining about it and then you don't support the independent filmmakers that are out there making the film, then you're just as much part of the problem. And if you're not researching the film, like people will say, we need this film, we need this film. I can name the films that people that are out there that our family has not seen yet, and I talk about it all the time. Njinga of Angola film is out there online. All right, Toussaint Louverture is out there online. Quilombo, Bisoro, you know what I'm saying? There are films, numerous films that are out there. After we wait to see the trailer on TV or the internet, then we get mad at it because it ain't the big way we like it. Our people didn't make it, but we didn't do any research. We didn't go on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm running my mouth. We didn't go on YouTube and just put in a search, black film, black foreign film. We don't think that far. We want someone to present it to us, the meal to us, and we want them to present it the way that we exactly like it, but we ain't doing nothing to earn it or deserve it.
I mean, no, you're good, man. Because for me with Pittsburgh tonight with Piff was like, I didn't, me. I always tell people it's a collaboration, not a competition. Because I was looking around, it's like, where is there a film festival where we challenge people to collaborate, to talk to each other? We don't give awards out for best film, best actors. We give out recognition awards where we recognize the hard work of the filmmakers, and that was different when we did it. We're now 7th year. And that was very different when we first started because, as you know, there's certain models, and when you go outside that model, you better know what you're doing because we're asking people to come into Piff and to collaborate with each other. The normal people, they don't collaborate. They usually try to outdo each other in the film industry. So, so we're asking them to do something they normally don't do. And the reason for me personally, and like you said, I didn't complain about it, for me personally about that spiritually, was like, where do we sit down and show our young people that we can work with each other? You know, we keep talking about, but where do we do it? The best example is if we do it ourselves. So, you know,
we
if
say it should be done, but then sometimes we don't do it.
yeah, so Piff is about collaboration. We challenge the filmmakers to come in and work with us, and let's collaborate together. So we could tell the young people, and we invite young people to come in and see how it's done. That's why we're doing. That's why I'm talking to you tonight, because the education level. Where are they going to get where's the education coming from? Where are we going to teach? Where's those teachable moments where we tell them and we show them? That's why my goal, one of the goals in Piff is to shoot a short film doing Piff. Okay, and we did that in 2018 because I want to show the people what process it takes to do that, because as you know, short film or feature film is still a lot of work. And so in Piff, my goal in Piff is to shoot a short film when we do Piff, because that way the parents and the grandparents who think it's just, oh no, see what your children are doing behind the camera. Because you know, when I was with Robert Samuels on set for Made in Chinatown, I purposely scanned, doing one of the scenes, I purposely scanned behind the camera so people could see all the people that was in the room while only 5 people was in front of the camera.
Exactly. And all of those are jobs.
All those are jobs. I purposely scanned that. You had like probably 30, 40 people in the room, and there was probably like 6 or 7 people in front of the camera. And so we have to teach those teachable moments. Is like, how do we get them to see that if we're not showing it to them? And that's one thing, you know, with Piff. That's why Piff is to me, it's an educational journey for me.
Yeah. You know, filmmaking is a team effort. It's a community effort.
Yes.
You know, you have to understand that. You know, there's no, you know, rarely will you see a good film that was made by one person doing everything. You see a lot of the content usually suffers somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
And you know, Robert Rodriguez is famous for doing what was the name of that film? The Bandito film.
Oh, yes, I know which one you're talking about. I know, yes, with the actor. Oh, man, you know, tonight must be my slip night.
I use the term Bandito. That probably sounds, you know.
Yeah, I know which film you're talking about.
Not politically correct, but he was famous for doing that. If he did that all by himself, but even that film, as much as it was critically acclaimed for what he was able to get done, that film suffered in several areas too. If you have a real eye for film, you'll see it.
I mean, even Eddie Murphy got that with Harlem Nights, where he had so many different hats on, you know, and he talked about that, you know, all the different hats. You know, some things were nice, but some things did suffer in that, you know, in the making of the film. It's a classic now, but I remember that people were jumping, oh, he's an executive producer, he's this, he's that, he's all these different hats on. And you know, so it is a massive undertaking to make these films, that you need to have a good team around you. And we had to teach that to our young people. You know, I always tell people, I say, Michael Jordan was awesome, but hey, Michael Jordan had 4 other people on that court with him. If he was by himself, they would have just locked him down. He would never got free.
Look at the documentary Michael Jordan: The Last Dance.
I saw. That's awesome. I was watching it on Netflix. Yeah, it's a really but the thing is, once again, you know, it's a team effort, and we have to show our young people that, because they usually don't see it. They want to get paid, but to get paid correctly, you need a team around you.
It's not just you. Behind every solo act even has a team behind them. Every boxer, MMA star has a team behind them.
Huge team behind them.
The training, by yourself. Even when it just seems like it's you out there, it's no such thing as you by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the one with Muhammad Ali, and you saw, like, when he went to Africa to fight Foreman, you saw the team behind, you saw the people behind him, like so it's just that part of the industry is not really highlighted, and I think sometimes people don't want to highlight it, but we need to highlight it so our young people understand they need to go to school, get the education, and come out, and you could get those jobs, or you could create your own jobs, but you need the education, the process to get it done.
and particularly again, if you're working behind a camera and you have certain skill sets, whether it's a cinematographer, editor, or lighting, or sets, or costume. Like I said, those are jobs, and those people are always working. They're either working on a series, and when that's over, guess what? They're going to the next series or the next film.
Yep.
You sit there and you listen to them talk. Hey, I just finished working on so-and-so, and I'm going here and there and there, and I'm tired. I want to take a vacation. They complaining about their work.
They complain about. I like that. Complain about their work.
They get paid first. They eat first on the set. If other than the principal actor and actors, they get paid first. They eat first. Everything.
Hey, Khalil, I always tell people, I always tell people, one of the things I like about being behind the camera, one of the things, I don't have to put no makeup on. I could come in there with my sneakers, my t-shirt. I'm good. Being behind the camera, I don't have to get into wardrobe. I don't have to do makeup. I don't have to do all that stuff. I
have to say this. Being a dark-skinned black man with pretty good, even, I inherited this from my mama. They put very little makeup on me. But I bless my mama. She was a chocolate beauty, and I got some of it.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Well, man, but Khalil, man, thank you so much for the conversation. Like I said, I'm gonna continue some of this conversation with Sifu Robert Samuels tomorrow evening when he comes on, and hopefully, we're giving some teachable moments for our community at large, global community. And hopefully some young people are listening, and they could realize they need to go put the work, get the education, and put the work in to get out there. So, but thank you so much, Brother Khalil, for your time tonight, man.
And tell him I said peace and love.
I will definitely do that, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
God bless, man. Peace.